Fantastic. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So thank you so much, Marie. So I'd like to welcome both Kristine and Stacie. So Kristine Douglas, a certified financial planner with Douglas Wealth Management Group at IPC, has over 20 years experience helping her clients aspire to achieve their highest form of wealth. And I love the fact that part of her belief system is the purpose is delivering continuing positive return on life. And I think that's incredible. And Stacie, very diverse history, which is amazing, which I love. I could relate. She has spent over 15 years in retail and small business banking sectors in Canada and teaching financial advisors and clients how banking strategies could help their financial plans. And she has joined Conquest Planning, a technology company, to help deliver that message even further. So why don't we start? And so our wonderful topic for today is living life your way, so being financially empowered, right? So why don't we start off with what is financial wellness and how is it different from financial freedom? Oh, Kristine, I think you're on mute.
Funny, it's so funny that I'm on a technology discussion. Anyway, great start. Thanks, Patrizia. I love this topic. And as I was reflecting on it, that being financial freedom and financial wellness, I don't know that everyone will share my definitions. And in fact, I've evolved my own definitions on this over the years. You know, when I think back to my 20s, my early 20s, and started as a financial planner, I'm guessing and I'm thinking that I thought of financial freedom as the ability to pay for something with cash. So making the decision that I could afford something because I'd saved up enough and not having to put it on credit and pay later. After 20 years of advising clients and now approaching middle age, I would define financial freedom more as a destination. I believe that you reach this destination when you have enough. And that's what I work with my clients to figure out how much is enough. Having enough means having enough wealth that you can choose, it's the key word, choose what you want to do, when you want to do it, with who you want to do it, and for how long. And for me and my clients, how long is really a lifetime. So I can't talk about wealth without commenting that wealth is what you don't see. One of the best financial books that I've ever read in my lifetime is Psychology of Money. It's right here. Morgan Housel. Everyone should read this. I'm a very engaged reader and I use a highlighter when I read, and I can say that this book is completely highlighted, which is silly, but every point of it is so excellent. And in this book, Morgan discusses that wealth is hidden. It's the income that we don't spend. It's an option not yet taken to buy something in the future. It's the nice cars and clothes that are not bought and the first class upgrades that are declined. Wealth is financial assets that haven't yet been converted into the stuff you see. And that stuff can sometimes project a rich income. We know income does not equal wealth. When someone's asking what's the book, it's The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Financial wellness, on the flip side, my definition would be the knowledge and control over the day-to-day and month-to-month and year-to-year financial picture. So in order to have control and knowledge, it starts with organizing your life. And, you know, secondly, I think financial wellness is having the capacity to absorb financial shock like job loss, divorce, identity theft, market collapse. We could go on, and we've heard some of those topics today, disability. And, you know, simply put, financial wellness is the peace of mind that you have the knowledge and therefore you're in some control of your financial affairs day to day. And when your financial wellness is in line with your values and your life values, and then you sprinkle on, you know, an overarching discipline of delayed gratification and patience, which is what is hard to get sometimes, then this can successfully lead one to achieving financial freedom.
That's interesting. Stacie, what are your thoughts? You have a different lens from Kristine based on your experience as well. What do you see, and how would you define that?
Yeah, so wellness to me, I might add that wellness really very simply means that I'm no longer checking my bank account on a day-to-day basis to make sure I can pay my bills. I know my mortgage is going to be paid for. I know that I, have a basic budget that I'm operating within, and that really I've got a plan to sufficiently cover my needs. If I think about, the world that we live in, like Kristine said, we're bombarded with marketing that what we have is never enough. And to me, it's really a mindset. When I've adopted an attitude of gratitude, a good friend of mine always says, gratitude makes what we have enough, because we're going to be hit from every angle that we should buy this or buy that, or we need this to have our intrinsic worth to show on the outside. So just making that mindset shift from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance, that financial wellness to me means that, I'm comfortable. And freedom on the flip side to me is like that end destination. I don't have to go to work tomorrow if I don't want to go to work. To me, that is complete financial freedom when I've built up either enough of a revenue stream that comes in passively, or enough assets that will fund my needs, whatever that need level is. And it's different for every person. To me, that's what I would add for the difference between wellness and financial freedom.
It's a really good point. How do you find that technology is empowering in this area in helping like women's financial wellness and lifestyle?
So think about our lifestyles for a minute. Think about what woke you up this morning.
I know exactly what woke me up. It's an alarm that buzzes and I don't know how to change the setting, but that's okay.
Where we get these gentle nudges. If you've got the iPhone sleep app, it's now very lovely, gentle waking up, or maybe you have a light that turns on and gradually, increases. And then think about your day, how it's changed, say today versus 5 years ago, and the impact technology has had, not just on us financially, but lifestyle wise, how we order food, how we get a date. And by the way, LinkedIn is not a dating app. Can I just say that, ladies?
It's not.
How we get a date, how we, how we book a car, how we order food. And that's been accelerated throughout the last year during COVID. The technology has really come in to empower our lives. And the financial services sector, specifically, in my opinion, has, struggled to keep pace because of regulation, because of how hard it is to integrate and turn over legacy systems that our financial ecosystem has been built on. The key is to have technology enabling us as humans, not having it control us as humans. So I think there's lots of opportunity to embed technology.
Kristine, what do you think? How has that impacted yourself and your business?
I'm still thinking of my house alarm going off and waking me up this morning by mistake. Technology's role for me is huge for empowerment for women, because I feel that it buys us time. Having control over our time and options is becoming one of the most valuable currencies in the world. It is not Bitcoin. It won't ever be Bitcoin. It'll be our time and control of that time. So I think there's a multitude of examples over the last year in this pandemic where we've all questioned time, whether it be our own mortality, our family, our ability to manage our time, whether it's homeschooling kids, managing 2 teen daughters like I have, our careers, caring for elderly parents and grandparents, studying perhaps, relationships, all of it. Even having to manage what we can feel like excess time that has restrictions on how we can spend that time, lockdowns, whatnot. I have female clients who may not have been very quick or comfortable jumping onto a Zoom call a year ago. But to keep our communication lines open and continue to adjust their financial plans and check in on their wellness, technology is critical. And it's critical to their wellness. So when you extend technology to health over the last year, and the two are interconnected, health and wealth, think of all the types of options we have, from simple counting, step counting Fitbits or watches to virtual doctor's appointments. I mean, it's all interrelated. So, yeah.
So when we think about how an advisor can help, and I know like Kristine, obviously like this is what you do day in, day out on technology side, and Stacie from a vendor perspective where you actually offered the technology, do you see any trends, or do you see anything that's actually happening? Because I often wonder sometimes people's value and what they value and how as what their worth is, and how technology has sort of replaced it in many ways. And how do you substitute and start seeing the actual value of time? Kristine, like you mentioned, the importance of time. Like, how do we balance all that? And what have you been seeing? How do we start there?
Well, I think, I was chatting with Stacie. She has a great story and a personal story regarding, that coaching advisor role. So maybe she can talk to that piece, and I'll come back sort of on the financial end of it.
Sure. I mean, listen, technology makes us smarter. It's dramatically improved our quality of living, right? We've talked about the value of technology in sort of all aspects of our life, but it's beyond just the technology. It's having an accountability partner. So if I make an analogy of, what is the value of advice that advisors give, and what is the advisor's role in conjunction with technology? Will technology replace the advisor's role? No. Humans want human to human contact. And so the personal story, maybe I could share with you, if, think about analogies. If I go to a dentist and I have them tell me how to take care of my teeth, as long as I do what they tell me to do and go get regular checkups, hopefully I have good teeth. 3 weeks ago, so I'm really into fitness. I've been into fitness. You see my Peloton bike in the background here. And I maintain a fairly steady level of fitness throughout my life. But 3 weeks ago, a girlfriend of mine had lost significant weight and was like really shredded up. And she was like, come with me to this kickboxing class. And I was like, I'm terrified of a kickboxing class. I don't want to take a kickboxing class. But she convinced me to come, and I got hooked right away and hired the trainer there. And the value of having a coach is that they are your accountability partner, and it's all technology enabled. So that's got impact wrap. I can tell how hard I'm hitting the bag, how often I'm hitting the bag. I use technology to do a full body scan when I got there, so I can measure my improvement in a meaningful way. And within 3 weeks of starting that, and technology, I co-share my nutrition plan with the coach. So I have an accountability partner on the other side. I've, lost 4% body fat in 3 weeks, which is miraculous for someone who stayed steady, just by having that accountability partner. I really feel it's the same with financial advisory. If I don't have an advisor checking up on my health, I could have all the amazing apps in the world. I use my Fitness Pal before, I use Peloton, I use all those things, but left to my own devices without that professional that's going to guide me along the way, I'm not going to have as good a results at the end of the day.
Yeah, Stacie, you're so right on that accountability factor, and it's huge. And it's difficult to quantify. In the financial industry, many of us are focused on number, or I won't say many of us because I do not, but many are focused on numbers, the facts, return on investment, quantitative success criteria, but there's an intrinsic psychological or qualitative aspect to accountability, and that can be an even bigger determinant, not only for financial wellness, but for those trying to reach financial freedom. I believe a great advisor is not afraid of holding their clients accountable. Just like any coaching relationship, as Stacie said, technology tries to do this. There's great apps that monitor our habits and checklists, and it's much easier to disappoint an app or yourself than making excuses or by talking your way out of a commitment. Whereas it's hard to disappoint a human that's rooting for you. My clients tell me I should be a professional nag in my title as opposed to a certified financial planner, because that's what I do and that's what they pay for. To pay for advice and not act on that advice is a huge waste of time and resources. So if technology can work in tandem with a trusted advisor, I believe that's the best combination, and with the highest possible odds at having financial wellness throughout your life and then reaching that true financial freedom.
I loved both of those stories on so many levels. I think we only have 1 minute left. If there is anything else that you'd like to add that you would say as a nice takeaway, what would it be? I'll go
Again,
with Stacie.
Or yeah, I'll just say, keep your mind open to technology, the resilience and adaptability moving forward. I think the most successful individuals in this industry are the ones that can adapt and move forward rather than pushing against change, because change is coming, change is here, change is happening. And those that are quicker to adopt will fare better for themselves, for their clients, and for that whole financial wellness picture that we're all seeking to achieve.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we're out of time. Yep, and we are out of time. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for joining, Kristine and Stacie. Bye.
Bye-bye.